In software design, one not only needs to consider the different users who will likely use the product, but also who partakes in the development process. Not only can a product with an exclusive audience feel alienated for those who aren't part of that target group, but can also lead to lower profit margin as less people are willing to use the software. Additionally, having a more diverse group of developers on board makes for a more diverse product and project development team, and as a result, one would expect to resolve the issue of exclusivity. As software developers, we have a responsibility to ensure that throughout a project, everybody is included and that the finished product accommodates for a broader demographic. The following set of slides will showcase how a number of individuals and group characteristics should be considered when developing software solutions. To start, cultural backgrounds. When designing software, it is important to consider belief and languages of various cultures. Differentiating cultural backgrounds can be performed while testing the surname of individuals. For example, people with Asian cultures will be highlighted due to their formal and informal name. Using number, currency, and time and dates is another technique unique to individuals or groups. For example, Australia writes dates with date, month, and year. Americans use month, date, year. They're only minor things, but they're relevant to be considered. To further distribute the cultures, currency, and number formats is an alternative method that is used in different countries. For example, Sweden uses commas instead of a decimal point. So 3.255 in Sweden is 3,225. That's not 3,255, that's 3.255. Classifying cultures by creating one common language to accommodate or to communicate should be used in the interface while selling applications to those cultures. Economic characteristics contribute to income and wealth protection, distribution, and use. Economic backgrounds have to do with employment, schooling, profession, community, and concerns about how families can fulfill financial obligations while also paying a fair price for products and services. For example, the Adobe Creative Cloud is a set of applications and services that cost around $70 a month, whereas an annual subscription will cost about $870 a month, which is a $50-something discount. These prices may be reasonable for some, especially to those who in a target market such as filmmakers or web developers. However, the price may seem unreasonable for those who are only starting out or who don't have the income to be able to afford such a program compiled in a single suite. Another example would be Lightworks, which is a free video editing suite available on Mac, Windows, and Linux. It isn't completely free though, because the Pro version has a $25 a month subscription fee and allows you to export 4K video or YouTube or Vimeo. These hidden costs constrain some people as they may not have the funds for it, but are looking for high quality software and therefore are limiting their potential creativity. Next up, we need to consider gender. Gender plays a role when it comes to being inclusive and private. Both male and female perspectives should be included in software design and development. Men still dominate the software industry, and as a result, this can lead to gender bias during the development process. Women can be excluded from many tasks, and their needs or suggestions are not taken into consideration, and their role may be undermined by their male counterparts, which we hope wouldn't happen. This would be because of what many see as the natural consequence resulting from one of the major perceived differences between men and women. Men and women do think differently, which makes it difficult to include both sides both men and women in software development. Programming is widely technical and mathematical, with logic and reasoning behind some of what makes it appeal to men more than women. Computer-generated precise scientific facts and responses and research show that men prefer these black and white situations where they come to a concrete solution. On the contrary, women often see problems in a broader sense. They are typically more interested in other factors that men seem to overlook, which is ensuring the method of solution is socially acceptable. And they have a better capacity to come to a more flexible solutions, which is to the benefit of the development process. Because men and women are involved in the development of software and this process, it makes sense that some form of gender bias would exist. However, software should be designed to allow for both styles of solution. Traditional software has been written to solve problems that have a definite answer. For example, a set of inputs are required to processes for a set of outputs. Current advances in artificial intelligence now allow computers to assist in the solution of a much broader range of problems using less structured solutions and techniques. Disability is an essential factor in the inclusion or in inclusivity of software design. To increase the maximum accessibility, software developers can use tools and techniques to cater for all individuals, including those who have a visual or physical or hearing disability. For example, Netflix has added the audio description narration option, which describes what is happening on screen, including physical actions, scene changes, costume, facial expression, and so forth. This feature is available on all Netflix original series, as well as a few other chosen titles. Not only has this feature helped those who are visually impaired, but also assists individuals on the autism spectrum to identify visual cues. Another example is Amazon Alexa, which responds to voice commands. Additionally, Alexa was recently updated to assist those who have trouble hearing. You can use the light ring, which provides a visual indicator of the status of the device. For example, blue would show starting up, no lights mean device is waiting for commands, and flashing lights means that a command is being responded to. Privacy is about protecting an individual's information. Privacy is a basic concept of our culture, and we're entitled to know who owns our personal data and who has access to our personal data. In Australia, privacy is legally protected under the Privacy Act 1988, which states 10 national privacy principles. Consequences of the Privacy Act 1988 mean that information systems that contain personal information must legally be able to A. explain why personal information is being collected and how it will be used, B. provide individuals with access to their records, C. correct inaccurate information, D. divulge details of other organisations that may be provided with information from the system, E. describe to individuals the purpose of holding information, F. describe the information that is held and how it is managed. Many of these, which are listed under what is called a privacy policy. Most privacy policies will explain how personal information is treated, how you can change or edit your personal information, ethical practices of the company, and who and how they distribute your personal information to. Private information collection has become commonplace even with most computers and most computer systems. Little packets of data called cookies or flash cookies, or even more invasively beacons, are used to track users. Usually you're able to clear cookies from your web browsers or cache, and you can set it to clear automatically. This not only keeps your storage up to date and clean, but also allows for an extra layer of protection and privacy because you're not being tracked. There are many other ways individuals' privacy and private personal information can be protected online. This includes, but certainly not limited to, optimizing passwords or using password managers, using security software to detect for viruses and spyware on your system, making people aware that anything you put online stays online. So that will be your digital footprint. And if you need to, use a VPN to privately browse the internet. Thank you for listening.